What the hell? What the hell is a castle rat? Well, we're gonna find out. This is one of the new releases that's been out this year that I just recently got into. We're gonna see what my top 10 is so far of 2024 new releases here on the Metal Block right after this.
Welcome to the Metal Block. Guest interviews, top 10s, top 20s, album reviews, and more. Now here is your host, Eric.
Listen to those girls screaming for me. Yeah, woo! Hey, yeah, the Metal Block. We've been chugging along here. It's 2024, midway through. We're already halfway through the year. As you can see, I got a whole new intro. I did the music for it and everything. That's actually a song I'm working on, and I thought, it might be cool for like for a theme for my show, the Metal Block. I'm not wearing my shades because I want to be able to see the song like titles and stuff like that. So I'm gonna have these on. But I got my old man readers on, and yeah, it's kind of cool because I could see like the blue in there. So it's like I'm a cyborg. Look, cyborg, not cyborg, cyborg, not cyborg. Anyway, and plus I'm not good at looking into the camera because I feel like I'm talking to a robot. So yeah. Anyway, whew, what a year. I feel like 2024 is kind of reminding me of 1984, which is one of my favorite years, probably my all-time favorite year in metal, because that was the year I got in. I've told the story many times. That's the year I really got into metal because I saw Ozzy Osbourne for the first time. Let me put my microphone a bit closer. I saw Ozzy Osbourne for the first time in '84. That was my first concert ever in March, and then that same year I got to see Rat, and then ended the year with Wasp, and all kinds of cool stuff was happening at that time. I formed a band with my friends in high school, and we went on to Hollywood and sort of hit somewhat of the big time, but not the full big time. But I'm definitely not on the 2024 new releases list anytime. So anyway, so 2024, because we're only halfway through the year and there's been so much good stuff coming out so far. Matter of fact, I got some honorable mentions. I'm going to probably kind of, sometimes people wait till the end of the top 10 or whatever, the top 20 to show their honorable mentions. I'm just going to kind of start off with a couple, and then do number 10, and then sort of go into like in between. I'll mention some honorable mentions because there's some albums that came out like this year at the very last minute, and I just didn't get a chance to listen to them. So a lot of times they just didn't make my top 10 list only because I just haven't had a chance to really listen to the record. Now, the good thing is there's a chance that they might make my top 20 list at the end of the year, because as you remember last year I did the top 20 end of the year list, and then so I like to start off the half of the year with top 10 new releases, and then kind of see where they land at the end of the year, which is kind of cool. Yeah, because it gets switched out, and we still got a lot of new albums coming out this year. That's I'm hoping Merciful Fate and The Cure. The Cure's been lagging on their record. It was supposed to be released last year, from what I understand. And then Merciful Fate, King Diamond. King Diamond released that one single last year. Actually, it was this year. It was a 2024 single released, the Madness or whatever, the one with the little girl with the metal helmet. I'm really bad with song titles, but it's for the album The Institute that's coming out. But he first put that song out in 2019, I believe, and then it's just been sort of recycled. And I think he did a new video of it last year, and then he just released a single of it on vinyl this year, which I got. Okay. First of all, too, the concerts, I haven't got to see a whole lot of concerts yet. I still got to see Crypta in March. That was a really kick-ass show. It was packed. It was at Dante's here in Portland. And then about a month ago, my girlfriend was down from Canada, which was really cool because she hasn't been here in a while, and it was really great to be able to spend some time with her. And now we're on a regular schedule, so she can come like every couple of months and stuff and hang out for a month or so. And we go start going to shows together. But we got to see Amon Amarth. Went there with my sister-in-law and my nephew, and with my girlfriend Blue. And Amon Amarth, that was at the Motor Center with Cannibal Corpse. I'd say it was pretty packed. It was, Motor Center is like, I don't know, maybe it's a 10,000 seater. Who knows? Maybe even more. It's a stadium, I think. I don't know. I think it's an arena. I don't know. It's where like they do a lot of big concerts. That's like the big place for the big concerts. Then you got the Roseland Theater, and you got all the smaller clubs. Like, but but it was like kind of closed off. So because Amon Amarth, I mean, they're big, and they put on a really cool stage show. With Vikings fighting and everything. Cannibal Corpse was badass live. But they were playing these big places. Like they're a band that you don't really hear a whole lot about, like on the radio or nothing like that. They're not mainstream, but they are mainstream. It's like if you go to someone who loves death metal and you say, "Oh, you like Amon Amarth," they're gonna be like, "Oh, that's a little bit too mainstream for me. That's too commercial." Check out Necrot or something like that. Yeah, so that was a cool show. And then I got to see the Ghost. How many? Look, I got Ghost on. How many of you saw the Ghost movie? That was just a couple of weeks ago, man. And actually, yeah, was it last week or a couple of weeks ago? Anyway, that did really good in the theaters. Actually, it broke some records. I think it's like one of the, if not one of the, it's the biggest rock concert film in the U.S. as far as the numbers wise, business wise. And I thought that was really cool. Yeah. Yeah. Let's see what else we got here. Oh, and in a couple of weeks. So I always do the top 10 of metal and rock releases. Might throw in a few black metal. It just depends on how good they are, if they make my overall list. But then I also like to do kind of a separate list where it's mostly just all black metal. Last year I did top 10 black metal with my good friend Nico from Darkness My Desire black metal band. And we're going to do it again this year. We're going to have a couple other friends on as well. And yeah, and so this time I'm going to do top 10 black metal, but I'm also going to try to widen the net a little bit and try to make it a little bit more like some extreme metal, death metal, things like that. Because Deicide's got a new album, Kerry King, and they might fall in that area as well. And so, and I really like that new Deicide record that I got that recently. And again, some of these honorable mentions I'm going to talk about, they just didn't make my top 10 list, but they just might during the middle of the year before the end of the year. I'm overdosing on coffee, man. That's what us metalheads do. And yeah, we got some new graphics too, man. Check it out. Yeah. I still got the same background. I plan to switch up my background eventually. So yeah, so let's see. I got some notes down as far as stuff I want to talk about. Before we get into my list. Discovering new music, and always one of the reasons why I like to do this is not only because it's fun for myself or whatever, just ever since I started doing this top 10 list thingy, and it, the only thing I don't like about it makes the years go by fast. In other words, it just seems like it was yesterday that I did the top 2023 and then 2022 before that, and it, like I was going through some of my records, I'm thinking, didn't this just come out? And wait, that was last year. But I do it to raise awareness to a lot of people who are still out there saying, I was just talking to a guy the other day that didn't think vinyl, people still listen to vinyl. I was like, oh, people still listen to that? And it's like, come on, dude. Last year, I think vinyl sales were 39 million or something like that, and CD sales were 37 million as far as units sold, and I think that's just the U.S. alone. So imagine worldwide. But yeah, what bugs me is that when people aren't, I don't know what it is, man. It's just people check out at a certain age or something. Like they just stop caring or stop looking for new music, and so I just try to encourage people to say, hey, get out there and just listen to it. I don't care if I prefer physical music. I prefer vinyl, CD, cassettes, even. Like I'll show you the Castle Rat. I just got this in. I was gonna get the vinyl, but the vinyl was a little bit expensive right now, so I just got the cassette. Anyway, yeah, I think the vinyl was like $50 something or something on Amazon. It was like because it's probably limited press. But yeah, so I prefer that, but I also like streaming. And here's the good thing about streaming music. And I just discovered this. This is how I discovered like a lot of my favorite bands. And matter of fact, a couple of them ended up on this list of bands I just discovered. I'm all gassy for some reason. Ooh. It was coffee or some shit. Anyway, here's the thing you should do. If you're out there, if you stream music, if you like to stream full albums or whatever, like I do, or you just play it all the way through and maybe you can skip a song or two, is let it play all the way through and then let the the app or whatever it is just start doing the shuffling. In other words, they'll start playing random songs that are related to that album that you just listened to. And I'll do that and I'll be like, wow, well, who's this? And it makes me check and then see who it is. Because a lot of times I'll like the band. Like I discovered the band Takeda, which is on my list. You don't know where they're at right now on my list as far as my top 10. But Takeda, I discovered them that way because a song came on that I really liked. I was like, whoa, who the hell is this? And I found it was these guys from Sweden. I was like, Sweden, man. It was something about the Swedish, something in the water with Sweden where like everybody that's from, whether you're rock or pop or dance or hip hop, probably, I don't know, I haven't heard no Swedish hip hop, but pretty sure that's good too, probably, because it just seems like everybody's a great songwriter that comes out of that country. Sweden is a country, right? Yeah. Yeah, so do that. So just, like I said, stream it and then just let it play and then just, you find stuff. And then what I do is if I like it, I'll look it up and see if there's like a CD, vinyl, if they got a Bandcamp. Most of the time they got a Bandcamp. Because that's the beauty of music now. I mean, there's so much of it out there, and there's a lot that's free that you don't even have to really pay for it because it's like all on YouTube. Everything's on YouTube. And but that's the beauty of it too, is that you can just pick and choose what you like. You're not being told what you should be listening to. Like if I'm showing you my top 10 list. I'm not telling you better get out there and get this stuff. I'm just showing you what I have and what I like, and that maybe you can kickstart you into saying and thinking, well, maybe I should go check that out. And then in the meantime, while you're checking it out, you might find something new. Matter of fact, in the comments, I'm encouraging all of you who's watching this, whether you're in the comments on YouTube or the comments on my Facebook page or whatever, the group, the Metal Block group, tell me what your favorite albums are this year so far. Maybe, or what am I missing? Like, maybe after you see my list or whatever, you can actually chime in and say, hey, what am I listening, or what am I missing? What should I be listening to? What do you think might make my top 20 by the end of the year? Because I'm always opening to finding new stuff. Yeah. Woo. Talking too much, man. Like my Spider-Man up there. He's on my guitar. And I got Spider-Man coffee cup. So let's get into this. All right. Oh, one other thing too. I talked about concerts. I only have like 2 concerts I went to so far, but check this out. Well, in September there's Nervosa, which I definitely want to go see that. I'm contemplating on going to see Journey with Def Leppard, only because I did see Journey already, and they're pretty good. I love Def Leppard, but I'm not sure care to see them like how they are now. But that one song they just put out, feels like 73 or something like that. It's an alright song. I hate that drum beat. I hate when bands use that Gary Glitter to do 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 do. The one you hear in all the stadiums, like that same drum beat, and with that kind of chant or whatever. It's like stupid. It just ruined the song. It's actually a pretty decent song, but it has a good chorus and everything, but just that drum beat fucking annoys the fuck out of me. Maybe because Gary Glitter is like a freaking pedophile or some shit. I don't know. But no, it's a stupid sounding song. I just don't like that. It gets in your head and it just sounds stupid. It's like, sorry, Def Leppard. I love you, man, but just can't get into that. Scorpions, they're on their 40th anniversary tour, so I'm hoping that they come around. And I did get to see them a couple years ago. That was my first time seeing them in concert. I would love to see AC/DC. I know they're starting to tour in Europe and everything, and they're doing really good. I'm almost certain that they're going to announce a 2025 tour in the U.S., So I'm hoping they come to Portland. But in October, check this out. This is going to be like the most concerts I've ever gone to in 1 month. I'm going to Judas Priest on the 10th, I believe. Iron Maiden on the 14th. Yngwie Malmsteen, I think that's the 20th. And then Gore. Or it might be Gore before Yngwie. So I got Judas Priest, Iron Maiden, Yngwie Malmsteen, Gore with Squid Pisser, which I definitely want to see Squid Pisser because that's one of my favorite bands, or newer bands anyway. And then I'm going to end the month with Wasp. Finally get to see Wasp again. I saw Wasp in '84, and then I saw them sometime in the 2000 or something like that in LA. Yeah, I'm definitely going to love seeing Wasp. I'm glad to hear that Blackie Lawless, he's back into, because he had the back issues. I guess apparently he was getting a massage in like Spain or somewhere, and some guy that came in to do the massage with him, I guess they did something to crack his back or something like that, and ended up like fucking his whole back up. I guess he got nerve damage, and that's why he had to cancel the tour and everything. Shit, if I was him, man, I'd sue that fucking place, man, because that cost him all that tour. That cost me a ticket. Even though I got a refund, but I was supposed to see him in 2022 in August, and then I didn't get to see him because of that. But yeah, So he's back. And, I saw some recent concert footage of him. I guess they're playing a festival not too long ago. And he sounds good. I know he's using the backing track, but to me, it sounds like he's not using backing tracks anymore. It sounds to me like he's actually really singing now. But who knows? I mean, or maybe he lightened up on the backing tracks because everyone kind of gave him heat about it. But yeah, he sounds good. He still kind of sits down a little bit. But I heard an interview on Eddie Trunk, and he was talking about that he's still healing. So by the time he gets to the U.S., he's going to be in fully 100%, or at least 90%. But he is still healing from the surgery and everything, so that's why he's sitting down in certain times. He stands up and walks around a little bit, but he still sits down as well. His voice sounds good if that's him really singing. He's a little heavier than he used to be, but he still looks kind of cool. He's wearing like these, he's wearing the glasses I have, like these ones. Yeah, because he loves Elvis, so these are I call these my Joe Biden glasses. Yeah, my Biden specs. No, we're not going to talk about the debate. Yes, we know there was a walking corpse versus the con man. Yeah. I'm still going to vote for the corpse. Okay. Anyway, yeah, so Wasp in October. So that's going to be fun. All right, so let's get into this. So the first record I want to mention on my honorable mentions, and because it's a topic I kind of want to talk about a little bit, it's about, okay, I did show the picture earlier, but it was The Warning. Keep Me Fed. This album came out at the end of June. That's why I'm doing my list now, because I wanted to wait till the entire month of June was done, to get every, like at least all the albums that I'm interested in getting and listen to them at least. But I just started streaming this album maybe the day it came out, and then the other day, and I got it right here. So it came in on vinyl just today. So yeah, nice cover. I like the action on it. These are the three sisters from Mexico that started out really big on YouTube. When they did the Metallica cover, and they ended up going viral and stuff. So my problem with this album is I don't think it's as good as Errors. It's a good album. There's some good songs. I do need to listen to it more, but it didn't make my top 10 because I just haven't had a chance to really listen to it. But here's the thing. Before the album even came out, they released, I think, 3 songs back in 2023. The first one was because Sick, I think, was a little bit later. What was the other song called? More? I think that was like the first one, but that came out like in early 2023 or something like that. Maybe, or maybe late 2023. But either way, okay, so there's 12 songs on the record. They released, and I counted it, there was I think they released 6 or 7 singles before the actual record came out. So that leaves 4 songs that I haven't heard. So here I am listening to the full album on streaming, and I'm kind of having to skip a certain songs because I've heard them already. I've heard them 2 or 3 times, and and it's just okay. And I wish bands would not do this now, because it's become a trend. I understand it's the way bands are having to market their music, the way people are listening to music these days. But come on, don't put out 4 or 5 singles before the record comes out, because that's why the record doesn't do well when it comes out. It comes out, it does well for the first week, but then what happens? Okay, so it disappears. In about a month, no one's gonna be talking about this Warning record, because a lot of people think it already came out a year ago because of half the songs came out. What bands need to do, go back to the old way, just release 1 single, maybe 6 months before the album comes out. And I understand because you want to get pre-sales, you want to get a hype going, right? But what I would do, and there's probably some bands that still do this, but some of the ones I really love have been just abusing it. It's 3 or 4 singles before the record comes out. And then after the record comes out, they don't put nothing out, no singles. And then the album disappears. So what bands need to do is just release 1 single. Are you hearing me? Are you hearing me out there? Release 1 single 6 months before the record comes out. And then about a week or 2 before the record comes out, maybe release 1 more single. And then after the record comes out, do the tour, do a couple singles with the videos, maybe do 1 video before the album comes out, but just make sure you keep that thing going. I remember when Dokken put his record out last year, he was talking about, he was doing interviews and stuff, and he was saying, because I think he only put out 2 videos before the album came out, which is cool. But there's a lot of good songs in that record. I mean, I think it's a really good Dokken record, especially if it's supposed to be their last record, they ended on a good note. But I remember Don Dawkins at the time, he was saying that they're going to release a video for every song, you know, but he doesn't. He hasn't. I don't think there's anything. I don't think anything's come out, and I think a lot of people already forgot about that record. It just came out last year. So yeah, bands out there in the world. Because there's another thing too. Eddie Trunk was. I guess Eddie Trunk did something similar. People talk about their favorite releases so far and stuff on his show, and someone chimed in with Mick Mars' new album, and Eddie Trunk thought it came out in 2023. And the reason why he thought that is because 3 or 4 singles was released in 2023 before the record came out in February. It's just like, so yeah. So these bands, they need to find a new way to do this shit. I mean, if you're gonna do it, that's fine, but then you got to keep it going. Like once the record comes out, then you got to release more singles. But I think the Warning kind of went overboard. They like I said, they have 12 songs in the record, and then they released like 5 or 6 before the record even came out. Man, but let's check out a little bit of the Warning. So we're gonna play some little video clips here and there. Again, this is one of my honored mentions. Not that one, but the Warning. We'll get to the Castle Rat here in a bit because that's gonna be an honorable mention as well. But I did pull up just to give you a little taste of the Warning.
Their tour starts September 13th in Boston. Here to celebrate Don Julio's Summer of Mexicana. Playing the song Sick from their album Keep Me Fed. The Warning!
As good as that song called Sick. Now, what do I think about the record? It's a good record. Again, it might get on my top 10. It might get in my top 20, of course. But right now, it's just as honorable mentions because I haven't really had a chance to soak it all in. But from like I said, I've heard half the record already just on YouTube. And the reason why I said it wasn't as good as Errors because I felt Errors was a little bit more dynamic as far as deeper sounding melodies and things like that. Now, what I love about them is even though the songs on this album is a little bit more poppier and kind of more fun sounding as far as danceable and things like that, but the lyrics are still dark. And the lyrics, I don't know who's writing the lyrics, whether it's the drummer or the guitar player, maybe even the bass player. But they're some pissed off chicks, somebody did them wrong at some point, but they, or they're just writing for people to relate to that those kind of themes or whatever. But they're really good at portraying it as if it really happened. And so, as much as I like the lyrics and I like some of the songs, I just feel like every song kind of has that same, with the baritone guitar and the bass and then the breakdown with the verse, which is a catchy verse, and then they come in with the sort of industry standard written chorus, whatever. It kind of sounds industry standard, which is good because it's heavy, but it just feel like it's a little bit too much. In other words, I was hoping that there was going to be a nice ballad because I think these chicks could probably write I think I've heard them do one in the past on one of their last albums, maybe even the Errors album, a really good mellow song, like a ballad or a mellow song that like really powerful or so. But again, it's going to be a grower, I would imagine. So yeah. All right. I didn't pull up a clip of my number 10. But I actually could. You know what? Hold on a second. Let me do something real quick. Okay, I'm back. You probably didn't see I had to pause it because I wanted to upload Kerry King. He's my number 10. So we're going to get into my top 10. So number 10 on my list. And this is the album that I started appreciating late. Is Kerry King's From Hell I Rise. You can see it. Don't worry, your screen is fine. I know there's some blood on the screen there. That's a cool effect I did, huh? Let's check it out. Yeah. So Kerry King, From Hell I Rise. And I got the vinyl right here to prove to you that I'm not just showing you, I'm not just a poser with just a picture of that. I got the vinyl, I love that inside. I love the artwork. It's got the guy from Death Angel singing, Osweda. I can't remember his first name. I'm really bad with band member names, so excuse me with that, and song titles and things like that. It's like, I've always been that way since I was a little kid. Anyway, I love that he still keeps it. I love that he's into the satanic stuff, whatever, like satanic imagery. Even if Kerry, from what I understand, like Slayer's always been a satanic image, but then they kind of, I don't know if Tom Araya was Christian or something like that. But anyway, so but Kerry King's like, fuck that, it's all about hell. So yeah, good record though. It's just taking me a little while to get into it because I feel like it's like when I first started listening, I was like, well, this is kind of like Slayer, but with a different singer. Let's check out the first single that came out. I think this was the first single. I love those heavy, like I said, the more I listen to this record, the more I get into it. Yeah, just can't go wrong. And maybe it'd be cool if he comes to Portland. Yeah, so that's my number 10. We're going to go down the list, number 10, and then I'm going to also in between kind of show you some more honorable mentions. This is a new one for me as well, Warlock. This is number 9 for me. Singer Giles Lavery of the Metal Voice, but he's also mostly known for like his I forgot what his original band was called, but it's on the tip of my tongue. Again, I'm bad with band names. He did sing for Alcatraz a little bit this last year. Cool dude. I love watching him on the Metal Voice because he's got a cool attitude. He's just like a fuck you, fuck off type attitude. I think he's from England or Germany or somewhere. I think he lives in Germany, but anyway, great voice. I mean, the guy's a phenomenal singer, and like this album is like I've listened to Warlord back in the day. Might have even had a couple of their albums. I just lost track of them over the years. But this album kind of got me back into them, and it's just so good sounding. I'm going to play just a little bit of Warlord here, just to kind of give you an idea. This is the first song called "Behold a Pale Horse," and check out Giles' voice, man. Drop one of my records. Anyway, yeah, Warlord. This is called Free Spirit Sword. Get out there and get this. Took me a while to get this vinyl in though. Took like I think I ordered it. It came out like a month and a half ago. The record, maybe 2 months ago, but I finally got it like in the mail like a week ago. But you can stream it obviously on iTunes, Spotify, wherever you stream your music at. Definitely worth checking out. Like I said, some really nice melodies. What really got me on this was when I heard that drum beat in the beginning. I mean, the mix in those drums is just like so powerful and in your face. So that's my number 9. Should I do an honorable mention? I just got this in. Sunbomb. How many of you are familiar with Michael Sweet? and Tracy Guns from LA Guns. This is their second record. The first record was really good. I just got this in today, but I did listen to a little bit over the week. I think it was like Friday I streamed it, and it's a good song. It's a good album. Okay, so here's the thing, and I'm going to be honest with you. I love Michael Sweet. I love Striper. I'm a Striper fan. That new song they just put out, In the Days, that's a fucking badass song. And Striper does no wrong. I mean, the guitar sound, Michael Sweet's still got a killer voice. It's just there's some songs on here where Michael Sweet's voice doesn't seem to go well with the music. Because there's a lot of doom kind of sounding, and I don't think Michael Sweet has a doom sounding voice or voice for doom metal. But there is one song that's really good, called "Light Up the Skies." Check this out. Love that melody. I love that guitar going in that guitar run as far as that riffage goes on the verse. And some might say that sounds a lot like Diary of a Madman riff. I think I heard somebody comment that on the YouTube. Great song though. I mean, that's the standout song so far. But it's another record I need to listen to more. Whether it's going to make my top 10 or not, or top 20 later on in the year, we'll see. So, where are we on? Number 8? Number 8. What is number 8? Okay. Ooh, this album's really good. Saxon. Hell, Fire, and Damnation. Man. I've been getting into these guys. I was into them back in the day, but they were one of those bands I would listen to every now and then, maybe in the 80s and stuff, but it was never like a huge fan of them until like the last couple albums that they put out, and it's like, so I've been getting into more. I mean, the guitar work on this is just phenomenal. I love the guitar tone. A lot of it reminds me of like Adrian Smith, who's like one of my favorite guitar players of all time, and just every guitar solo is just so nice and well done, very fluent, very melodic. To me, the guitar solos alone sells the record. I mean, but there's some damn good songs on here. My favorite is this song right here. Check this out.
The jet, I've come to settle your jet, Mary Antoinette. I took your pretty head. I am the scourge of the rich, revenge of the poor. Your cries are in vain. I can't help with your pain. The arrangements are made. You will die on my brain. Just let me introduce you to Madam Guillotine.
Yeah, I love that song. It's a good vibe. Good. I mean, the production's really good. Yeah. What do you think of that one, Saxon? Let me introduce you to. Is it Miss Guillotine? Mrs. Guillotine. Woo! Already forgot the song title right after hearing it. All right, where are we at? Let's go down the line. Number 7 on my list. Are we good with time? About a little over half hour in. Got some more honorable mentions to talk about. But here is number 7. Except Humanoid. This is a good record. It took me a little bit to get into it. I was expecting to be, I guess, better than that last time they put out. Ready to Strike. Is that the name of the record? Something with a snake on the cover. But it's a good record. It's got the first song. I just feel like the opening song. I can't remember what the opening song is. Let's see. What is the opening song? I got the vinyl right here. Here's the vinyl. The vinyl record. It says the opening song is Diving into Sin. Now, Diving into Sin, it's like a mix between a southern accent and an English accent. Diving into Sin's a good song, but I felt like it shouldn't have been the opening song. I feel like maybe Humanoid should have been the opener, or The Reckoning should have been the opening song. It's very important that you pick a good opening track of a record, man. Megadeth, I think they failed on their last record of putting whatever that song was at first. It was just kind of a boring song. Started out good, but it just became boring in the midway through. So not a good opening song for Megadeth. But we're not talking about Megadeth. We're talking about Except Humanoid. My standout track on this is, because I'm a fanatic for Frankenstein, the character, the movie, and everything. So I love the video and I love the song. So check this out. Yeah, get out there and get Frankenstein, the single, but also get out there and get Except Humanoid. Now, I forgot to kind of a little disclaimer that when I'm playing these video clips, if you're watching on YouTube, I'm just recording it now, but when I upload to YouTube, they're probably going to say, well, you can't use this song and blah, blah, blah. You have to edit it out. So if I say, hey, check out this, and then you don't see nothing, and I come back and talk about it a little bit, that's because the video got edited out. But I'm hoping that I can upload this without any complications whatsoever from the music bigwigs, the suits, I guess you can call them. Another honorable mention. Didn't make my top 10, but it was close. Mick Mars, The Other Side of Mars. It's definitely going to be in my top 20. So I can guarantee you'll see this pop up in the top 20. It's a great album. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I think it's better than anything Motley Crue's put out in a long time, especially that fucking new song. I'm not even putting that on my list, that Dogs of War or whatever by Motley Crue. It's like, the song got stuck on my head for a while, and it's just that chorus. It's just such a horrible chorus. I mean, it starts out kind of cool. It's got a little bit of a cool verse, but it just sounds a little AI to me, but I don't know. It's so hard. That's another thing, too, with this whole AI thing. It's hard to differentiate what's real and what's not. I came across a band on YouTube that I thought was a band, had really cool artwork, and the music was just badass. It kind of sounded like Accept, like with Udo, like early Accept with Udo, a little bit of AC/DC, and sounded like real musicians and everything. But then the guy was, I read the description, and I guess it was all created by AI. And I even commented on it, and the guy told me that he just does it for fun because he likes to write songs, but he doesn't know how to play, and he appreciates AI for allowing him to create what he hears in his head. And I go, that's kind of cool, I guess. I mean, if you are upfront about it and you're not trying to sell it as something that you did yourself, actually played and everything, I have no problem with that. My problem is that people are going to start kind of caring and people will actually get to a point where they're actually buying that kind of stuff. And then more people are going to put it out as like, hey, this is my creation. We don't need real musicians anymore. We could just do it on AI, just a prompt. You're going to be a talented prompter. That's going to be, hey, do you play guitar or are you a bass player? No, I'm a prompter. That's what it's going to be like. But anyway, Mick Mars, The Other Side of Mars, got a lot of good songs, great vocals. Again, this was another album that kind of released like, I think 4 or 5 tracks before the album came out. So I have to kind of skip through the ones I heard a million times just to get to the songs I haven't heard yet and then get used to those. But it's a good album. I mean, just, I guess it was recorded 10 years ago, maybe. It's just been sitting on the shelf for a while and finally was able to put it out. So maybe that's why it's a little dated sounding in some areas, but it's still modern sounding. But it's so hard to picture like like I know what the 90s sounds like. I kind of know what the 2000s sounds like, but when you get into the 2010s and 2020s, it's starting to like, okay, like where did that? What style is that? Like, or what? Like you can hear a 90s style song and like, oh, that came from the 90s. You can hear an 80s sounding song that came from the 80s or 70s or whatever. But it's kind of hard to like kind of figure out what band came out during the 2000s or 2010s. Like Slipknot could have come out 2000s, which they did, I guess. But then there's bands that sounds like they could have came out at the same time as Slipknot, but yet they came out this year. It's like I don't know, like some of those metalcore bands. Yeah, yeah. So that's an honorable mention. And so let's go to number 6, I believe. Oh, this album right here, man. I've been really getting into this, especially lately. And I put it as 666 because she ended up as number 6. This is the band Lucifer. They're from Berlin. They're a heavy metal band formed in Berlin in 2014 by frontwoman Johanna Sadonis. Man, 2014. Yeah. They've had a lot of member changes, from what I understand. Okay, I'm just reading their Wikipedia. But yeah, good album. Except for I got it on CD because I got the record and it skips everywhere. But I don't know. I think it's because of my record player, and I think some records the way they're pressed or something. Maybe my needle isn't good with it. So the only problem I hate it opens like this. like it's not like that. You have to. You have to open it like this to see it. It's like anyway. Fucking great record though, man. Yeah. They're in the vein of like if you're familiar with bands that were in the 60s that were like kind of considered satanic. It was like the whole Satanic Panic or whatever that came out around that time. Or bands were like the Church of Satan, Anton LaVey and stuff like that. So there was a band called Coven, and these guys are very similar to Coven. Matter of fact, I'll play like one of their lead tracks. She says mortuary. It said mortuary. Mortuary. Yeah, the whole album sounds great. I mean, like, there's a lot of good songs in there, and it sounds like it was actually recorded and done in like the mid 70s, probably even from 1971 to 75, somewhere in that area. Yeah, it's a great record. Lucifer. Get out there and get Lucifer 5. So they name all the records up like a number. Like a lot of bands have been doing that lately. It's kind of like I feel like it's a little bit of a lazy thing to do, but that's just me. Like, bands like, 1. Our second album's called 2. I think who started that was Adele. Because didn't she name her records after her age or something, like 23? Then she was like 27 on one. And it's like, woo. Or you know what record I did get but didn't make my list? And you're going to be shocked by this, is Taylor Swift's new album. I just bought it out of curiosity just to see if it'd be worth a lot of money one day. But I did give it a spin. And it's all good. It's boring. Yeah.
So Metalhead likes Taylor Swift. Yeah. That's how we do. That's how we do, man.
Number 5. Now, this band I talked about a little bit earlier when I talked about discovering new music. I discovered these guys by just letting my, iTunes or whatever, when I was listening to the record on full, and I just let it play with whatever the shuffle came on of random songs that were related to the band I was listening to. And these guys popped up. This is a band called Takida is probably how you say it. They're from Sweden. This is called The Agony Flame, and then so after I heard that song I liked, I went and looked him up on YouTube, and I found this, which I really liked. And so this is a really good song.
Let's stay together, my codependent friend, into the deepest of black holes. Conforming to submission, spark up the ignition, self-distraction, my new home from home. Am I drowning? It's impossible to breathe. No one's counting.
Man, I get emotional out of that chorus, man. Whew. Hold on, my eyes are water. It makes me, I don't know, there's something about that melody and the lyrics that it's just powerful. I mean, it's making my hair stand up. Weird. Woo! Great band, great album, just all the way through. Every song is good. There's no skippable songs at all. I encourage you to get out there and get this. This might end up in my top 3 eventually. Right now it's at number 5. What did I say was that? Oh, yeah, it is number 5. Oh, no. Yeah, so it's my number 5 right now, but damn, this is so powerful. Good record. Takeda, however you want to say it, the Agony Flame. Get out there and get it. Came out in, I think, February 2024. This year. Yeah, where we at? How we good? Are we good? Another honorable mention. Check it out. Dark Throne. This is probably going to end up on my black metal top 10. But this is definitely a good record. These guys have been delivering the past, like, they've been consistent the past few records, man. All right. I don't got nothing to play with them as far as videos. And my number 1 record pick, we're going to play the full video. And you're going to love it. You're going to like it, damn it. Ministry's another honorable mention. These ain't on my top 10 list, but this album, I started listening to it again the other day, and I'm reading the lyrics along with it, and I'm starting to appreciate it a little bit more. Just when I was playing it one time, when I first got it, I started playing it, it just kind of seemed like it went out the other. Like it just was it was very mundane, kind of, if that's the word I'm looking for. Hopium for the masses. All one word. Hopium for the masses.
Opium for the masses.
That's another honorable mention. Another honorable mention, I just, before we get to my, next top, from 4 to 1, is this band called High on Fire. I don't know much about the singer. Like, I guess I forget what band he was in. Someone was telling me about it. But what I really liked was, what really drew me to them was their video. Check this out. It's just very eerie. That video give you fucking nightmares. I mean, a lot of bands are doing that AI stuff now, but that's probably the best AI video I've seen out of all the bands that's been using AI for the videos. You saw the one that, accepted with Frankenstein, which was pretty cool. And then the other one with Miss Guillotine or whatever her name was from Saxon. That was pretty cool too. But this video took the cake, man. So this album's called "Cometh the Storm." You know, I put it on. It was good. It's just kind of I just need to listen to it more. This might end up making my top 20 eventually. So honorable mention as well. I'll get to some more. I definitely want to get to one honorable mention, which I discovered just recently. But we'll get to that in a bit. I gotta space it out. You know, we only got 49 minutes. I got DoorDash coming too, so I'm gonna have to hit pause in a little bit to go get my DoorDash groceries because I'm too lazy to go to the damn store. Just kidding. But then you gotta spend time on the app, like telling the grocery shopper where everything is at. Like I know that store, I know it inside out. So don't tell me something's out of stock when I was just there the other day, and I know they had like a lot of it in stock. You just gotta know where to look. All you DoorDashers out there, just ask the person working at the store where something is at. Anyway, number 4, another record that kind of came late to me as far as appreciating and really loving. But when I heard it, man, this might shoot high up in my list. This might even go past number 4 at some point. We're talking about Riding Christ, man. I think this is gonna make my black metal list and my regular metal list. But I just got it on CD. I thought I ordered the vinyl, but I guess I didn't. I think I accidentally ordered the CD thinking I was ordering the vinyl because they're about the same price. Yeah, they were pretty close in price on Amazon. So Riding Christ Pro Exristo, if that's the name of the record, if I'm pronouncing it right. How would you say it? Pro Exristo? Pro Exristo. Good band, man. Just like so melodic and so like powerful. But what really got me, you know, I guess the band is the singer is Sokis or whatever, Sokis. And then he had a solo album a couple years ago that I really liked. I still need to get on vinyl or CD, but I just streamed it. What's the singer's name? My eyes are bad. Anyway, you know what you just look it up. You know Riding Christ. Look it up. Anyway, let me play a little clip of them real quick, okay? This is called Yggdrasil, which I guess is like the healing tree or something. Love it. It kind of reminds me of Tom Moyer a little bit with his vocals, the way Tom Moyer would sing on like maybe Into the Pandemonium a little bit. He also there's some songs where he sounds like Christopher Walken, the actor, the way he sings. But I think it sounds cool. I mean, it's just powerful. Like you hear those guitars and just very good production. And there's a lot of really cool like chorus like type of like almost sound like Tibetan chants or like the monks or whatever, the monks chanting, the way and the melodies that they're doing. It's just phenomenal. It's just a great record. It's like it's telling the story. I don't know. I need to read the lyrics, but it's definitely they're called Riding Christ, so they're definitely going to do something to do with Jesus Christ riding or something. Anyway, I'm not that deep, man. I'm not a very deep person. I read a lot of comic books. All right, maybe I need to read more encyclopedias and things like that. So number 3. That was my number 4, right? Okay, so what's number 3? Going down the list here. Check out I love my new graphics. My graphics team pulled through. Wait, I'm the graphics team. Number 3 is Judas Priest, Invincible Shield. Now I'm also like judging all of these records. Obviously, they're the ones that I have in my possession. These are ones I've actually went out and bought. But I'm also judging them based on because they're albums that makes me want to play them over and over and over. Or like I played them a lot when they first came out. Again, like with the Mick Mars and I think I have another honorable mention, which I'll talk about. Played it a little bit here and there, but it's not like I'm like Mick Mars. I love his record, but it's not like I don't have that urge to like, oh, I need to go put on that record like I do with Judas Priest. I could play it a bunch of times and then put it away for about a month and then play it a bunch of times more and still love it and still like really get into it. So Invincible Shield, man, These guys, I mean, come on, Rob Halford. I mean, look at this. I mean, what is he, like fucking 90 years old? I'm just kidding. No, he's about 75 or something like that, but I don't know if he's 72 or 75, somewhere in there. I'm not going to Google that shit. Anyway, really cool on the inside there. I got this on CD as well. I got the CD booklet, which it kind of has like it's kind of like a book or whatever. It looks like a little bookcase. Come with it. So I like the artwork in the back, but oh yeah, so I got the CD because it has. That's what like I hate too. Like when I love buying vinyl, but then they'll release a CD with 2 extra songs, so it's like you get kind of it makes you almost like you have to buy both formats, you know. So I ended up buying the CD booklet because it came with 2 extra songs, which I really love. But yeah, it just has like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's see, what 10 tracks or something like that. Anyway, great record from start to finish. No skippable songs. Every song is good. You know what I mean? Matter of fact, I'll play a little clip of one. Let me see what song. What song do I got? I got the title track,
Invincible Shield.
rings the, you know, like when he does that, rings the bell of the, like he does that. You know that beginning? Watch, check it out. If you're familiar with Destruction, you know, the German thrash metal band, that sounds like a song off their first album. It sounds like a riff from the first album, maybe the Antichrist or something, or off of Infernal Overkill. That's the first thing I noticed when I heard that song. I was like, oh shit, they must be listening to some Destruction. Well, I know, but Halford's a big fan of like death metal and thrash metal and black metal and stuff. So yeah, maybe they borrowed a little bit. You know, nothing wrong with that. So before I get to my number 2 and my number 1, got to do some more honorable mentions. This came late to me. This is probably the more I listen to this, is gonna probably get high in my list. Might even hit my top 10. It's definitely gonna hit my top 20. This is My Dying Bride. Listen to these guys back in the day when they first came out. You know, discovered them on one of those compilation albums or whatever. This is called Immortal Binding. So, but the more I hear this, the more I really dig it. It's doom, kind of doom metal. He's got an interesting voice along with it. A lot of good melodies. Yeah. Matter of fact, one of my friends turned me on to this. He was like, dude, you got to check out the new My Dying Bride. I'm like, really? I didn't even know they had anything new. I didn't even know they were still around. It's like, I'm one of those guys like, oh, you like that music? Yeah, but they're still around? Oh my God. I just haven't followed them in a long time. So then I bought this. And when I bought this, I didn't even realize it was a 2024 release. I thought it was like last year or something like that. So I'm not a really big fan of the album cover. It kind of looks a little cheap, you think? I don't know. What do you think? What do you think of the album cover? Maybe I need to see it on vinyl or something. But yeah. But again, a good album from what I heard so far. George Lynch is really pulling it. I mean, the problem with George Lynch is he has like 50,000 projects in a year, so a lot of these albums kind of go under the radar. But I when I watched the video, he has like Girish in the Chronicles singer. I think his name is Girish or whatever, but he's like an Indian guy. And he kind of reminds me like he's like the Indian Sebastian Bach, because his voice is very Sebastian Bach sounding. He's got long hair, good looking guy and everything. Definitely like he just came out of like 1991, in a rock metal band. So this is a good album though. It's George Lynch at his finest. He's playing some great solos, good melodic stuff. I haven't really had a chance to really listen to it a lot to see where it's going to land in my top 20. So yeah. Another honorable mention is Ace Frehley. This is still it didn't reach my top 10, but it's definitely close. Okay. it's probably like if I were to do a top 11 or 12, this would probably be number 11. You know, right under Kerry King. So still a good record. You know, been watching some recent clips of Ace Frehley. Sounds like he's kind of getting a little slow on stage as far as his vocals go. Like I know he broke up with his girlfriend recently, and the last show I saw him, like I'm not gonna point fingers or anything. I know he's sober from what I understand, but it did kind of sound like he was drunk when he was singing. So I don't know, but you know, I know what I sounded like when I was used to drink and sing at the same time. But yeah, I like the CD there. I got the vinyl too, but I just didn't feel like breaking out the vinyl, so I got it on CD as well. Yeah, another album that I never even really heard of this guy before this year, but somebody turned me on to him. Somebody in my Facebook feed, I think it might have been that Tom Elk guy that's usually on the Metal Voice. I think he posted something about it, and I really liked the album cover art, so I was like, oh, let me check that out. Apparently, he was a singer of Accept before the new guy came in, Tornilio. I guess he sang for like maybe a little bit, like right after Udo, and then kind of left. But he's got his own band called David Reese. I'm going to play a clip, just to kind of give you an idea of what he sounds like. Where's it at? David Reese. Right here. Nice catchy chorus and this very powerful guitar sound. I really like that. Yeah, so you know, who knows, that might end up popping on my top 10, top 20. Yeah. I have to hit pause real quick to get my DoorDash food and refill on the coffee. Look, Castle Rat. Check it out. How can you go wrong with the name Castle Rat? That's what attracted me to the band. I was like, I gotta check this band out, man. They're called Castle Rat. And look at it. The chick is like, she's like definitely from like 1980 something. Kind of like Lee Aaron or something like that, maybe. Castle Rat, Into the Realm. So the name drew me to check them out on YouTube. Again, another band I just kind of discovered recently. And then, so I come across their video, and I'm like, okay, let's check it out. It's really cool. I love the kind of, obviously trying to make it look like a low budget video, and from the 70s. But I love that when that guitar came in with the little harmony there, it almost sounded like Eli Roth from Scorpions. It almost sounded like was that one Scorpion song? If I can't remember the name. Anyway, it's an older Scorpion song with Eli Roth that was in the band. Burn the Sky. It sort of reminded me of like Burn the Sky from Scorpions. But yeah, I love that. I love the sound, the guitar sound. Obviously, they're going for like an old Black Sabbath sound. Obviously, I'm anxious to hear the rest of the record. So I just got this in today, and I streamed some of it on the other day. I streamed some of it on iTunes, but I just didn't fully engulf. I was on the bus. So all right, so we're gonna get into this is the last honorable mention I think I have for right now. I think I have some more, but these are the ones I just sort of really wanted to get out there. So Castle Rat, get out there into the realm. I'm eventually going to get it on vinyl or maybe CD. I just got the cassette just real quick. And I like cassettes. I was a big fan of cassettes in the day. Back in the day when my Queensryche Operation Mindcrime got eaten right after I bought it, and because my tape deck and stuff, and I'm sitting there having to read the lyrics, tiny ass words, that whole story, or whatever. And so I was like, no more cassettes for me. And even I still had some after that, but just wasn't a fan of cassettes for a while. But then lately, bands have been putting their stuff on cassettes, and I think they sound a lot better now. Like, I don't know if they're doing something, maybe it's the way they're mastering them for cassette, but they just sound really good. And I haven't had no tapes getting eaten yet, so I got a little cassette collection going. On my Discogs, I'm happy to announce that I hit over 1,000 pieces of vinyl, CD, and cassette. So, I was stuck at around 900 for a long time there, but I think I got somewhere around 1,010, probably give or take a few. Discogs, I want to tell you all about that. Go out there, and if you're a vinyl collector, CD or whatever, cassette, go on Discogs. That's DISCOGS.com. You can create an account for free, and you can log all your albums in it. You can find out the pressing just by putting in the barcode and the catalog number, and then you can just kind of build your collection. I have all my stuff cataloged on there. All my records. If I ever lose any of my records, at least I'll know what I had, and I can go in and sort of rebuy stuff. But you can also buy and sell there. You can also see what your records are valuable or what the value of them are, because you'll see what other people sell them for. And they also give you like a little thing on top of your collection saying like what your collection is worth, the lowest that it's worth, the medium range that it's worth, or the highest that it's worth. It's all based on like your condition of your record. So if you have a record that's worth like $200 in mint condition, it might be worth like $50 if it wasn't in mint, So yeah. Coffee man. What was that one? Oh, remember Tom Green? I don't know if you guys maybe it's before some of your time, but Tom Green, he used to have that one guy. He'd be on his talk show, but he'd have the one guy who was sitting in the window and just be doing this, drinking while he had guests. Anyway, number 2 on my list. What is number 2? What's number 2 on your list? Tell me what you guys are, what you're buying out there. What have I gotten so far? Do you like what I've gotten so far? Is there something I'm missing? Is there something you're like, damn, Eric, I can't believe you passed this record up or that album up? Well, tell me about it. Tell me in the comments so we can check it out. And, like I said, there's still time to hit my top 20 list, because I'm going to do the top 20 in December. And then in 2 weeks, we're going to be doing the top 10 black metal records with a few friends. So, yeah. Black metal, extreme metal, death metal, the real heavy shit. The stuff you can't hear on the radio. There's no more radio. What are you talking about? There is no more radio. So my number 2, one of my all-time favorite singers in my all-time favorite band, Iron Maiden, we got Bruce Dickinson, the Mandate Project. I mean, this record, I still have it on repeat. I still play it like at least once a week. All the way through. It's a good record. It's a story-driven album. It's so I got the vinyl here. Got the vinyl. The vinyl. You say vinyl, not vinyls. Nice. Bruce Dickinson on the inside there. Yeah, got the vinyl. I don't have it on cassette though. I don't know if he's got it on cassette. And I do have 2 versions of the CD, but I got the best version of the CD. I got this right here. It's the deluxe version. Doesn't come with any bonus tracks, I don't believe. But it does come with this cool book. So not only is it a record, but it's also based on a graphic novel. And the storyline, I'm still trying to figure out everything about it. I mean, I'm going to wait till the entire thing is done and just read it back to back, because each comic book is coming out every 2 months or something like that. So, and I think there's supposed to be 12 altogether, maybe 6. I think it's supposed to be 6 altogether, 6 graphic novels. But the artwork is nice. You know, Bill Sideswick, one of my favorite comic book artists, he does covers. So this came with the CD, deluxe CD. But then you also, if you go to Z Comics, Z Comics is a site, if you're into like rock and metal graphic novels and things like that, what they're doing, what Z Comics does is they'll take classic records and turn them into graphic novels. So you got the Judas Priest Screaming for Vengeance, and then they also did Abigail from King Diamond. Z2 Comics, so Z and then the number 2. Google it. And you can get like, oh yeah, the Iron Maiden Peace of Mind, which I still need to get, but I want to get the $300 one because it comes with like a cool figurine of Eddie in the insane asylum with the straight jacket, and he's chained up to the wall, so it comes like this little box display, and then the book comes in like a big old kind of coffin looking thing or whatever. So yeah, so they do all these like music or album based comic books. So they're also producing Bruce Dickinson's comic book, The Magic Project, and you also get like a cool certificate of authenticity. So this is issue 1 and issue 2. I still haven't read issue 2 yet. Like again, I'm waiting until the entire thing comes out. Then I'm just going to read back to back, because sometimes I'll read a book, and if it doesn't come out on a consistent basis, I hate having to go back and reread the first issue or the issue before, because I'll tend to forget where it left off. But yeah, really cool what he's doing here. He's incorporating graphic novels and comic books with the music. And I always thought about doing this back in the day. Me being an artist too, I thought, hey, it'd be cool to create like a comic book, but then create a soundtrack to that comic book, to where when you're reading, you can like listen to the music at the same time. And so yeah, but my favorite song so far, I mean, I have a lot of favorite songs, but my favorite song still is Resurrection Man. And I think they're going to be doing a video soon. And again, if I'm saying check out this clip and you're not seeing the music or the video, it's because YouTube blocked it. But just what I'm going to do is I'm going to put together a playlist of all the videos that I mentioned today, all the songs and stuff, like my top 10 at least. And then I'm just going to put them on YouTube, and you can check out the playlist. I'll post it on Facebook and everything. And that way you can check out all the videos, just in case some did get kicked out of here or whatever. Anyway, this is Resurrection Man by Bruce Dickinson. Love that beginning though, man. Just like it sounds like a Quentin Tarantino movie, like an old western, and I guess apparently Bruce Dickinson plays that little guitar lead in the beginning. So I know he plays some guitar and he writes a lot of stuff on his guitar and piano as well. But I saw an interview where he actually said he played the actual guitar in that little guitar lead there, which is kind of very, like I said, sort of spaghetti western sounding. Quentin Tarantino, like I said, this could be right out of a Quentin Tarantino movie. Maybe there should be a Quentin Tarantino movie called Resurrection Men, starring what's his name, John Travolta and Samuel Jackson. Just kidding. We're gonna get to number 1 now. Number 1, what is it? And I saw that this album is on everybody's list. Like Eddie Trunk, when he did his with his audience or whatever, of the number 1 record of 2024 so far. course, he calls it something different than mine. I've been doing this before Trunk. No, just kidding. He probably did it before me. But anyway, this album came up on everyone's list as the top, is pretty much like the runaway hit of the year, and it is number one. I don't have real drum roll here. Sebastian Bach's "Child Within the Man." A lot of people sort of, mixed reaction on the album cover. I like the album cover. I think it's cool. It kind of looks kind of cholo in a sense, like East LA kind of, but apparently that's his dad painted that. Well, it's actually two different paintings kind of blended together just for the record cover. But if you look on the inside, there's actually little pictures. I have the vinyl right here. But yeah, "Child Within the Man," phenomenal freaking record from top to bottom. I mean, it just punches you in the face. Cool photos, but it even shows like pictures of him. Look, I think it's, wait, I'm really backwards. I think that's his dad right there. But yeah, like there's a picture in here where it shows his dad actually painting one of these pictures, like I think with the car or whatever. And yeah, so he painted his son when he was alive. His dad passed away a number of years ago, but his dad's a phenomenal artist. I guess he's had stuff in galleries and things like that, and I think he was a art professor at some point. And but yeah, just really, I mean, this guy, this whole thing about Sebastian Bach and Skid Row I feel like Skid Row's being a little bit shitty on him. It's like, okay, yeah, Sebastian Bach took a couple pot shots at the new singer a while back, or when they had Eric Gronwall in the band or whatever. That's just Sebastian Bach. But I mean, okay, now they lost Eric Gronwall because he had to quit due to health issues, which is understandable. Phenomenal singer. They put out a great record a couple years ago. Probably the best Skid Row record since Sebastian Bach left. And so that opens the door. Like, people are like, oh, are they going to get Sebastian Bach back in? But then they got, Lizzie Hale to do some guest spots, and she became a really big hit with the band. And I was watching some of those clips, and damn, she should join the band. But, from like Hellstorm, I'm not a big fan of Hellstorm's music. Maybe I just haven't heard enough of it to get into it. But I do respect how talented she is as a singer and a songwriter and a guitar player. But she fucking belts those songs out like she should be the singer of Skid Row, but she probably won't ever join because Hellstorm is way bigger than Skid Row. But that said, and then so what I feel like Skid Row's a little bit shitty at Sebastian was they put out these shirts like no Sebastian or no Skid Row or something, or fuck Skid Row with Sebastian or something like that, and kind of just real shitty. Is like, I thought that was kind of a cheap shot, I mean, the guy wants the band put back together just for the fans. And I think, like, they have nothing to, there's a song on here, "What Do I Got to Lose?" Well, what does the band got to lose? Get together, do a tour for maybe 2 years, make a shitload of money, probably make a couple $1 million. And if it's going to break up, it's going to break up no matter what, but at least you broke up with some extra money and you made a lot of fans happy. But I guess, Snake Sabo, I guess he says he doesn't really want to be in a band unless he's happy and he feels being in the same band with Sebastian Bach, it would be a bad experience for him. But to tell you the truth, Sebastian Bach, he's put out a phenomenal record. This is his first record in about 10 years. I listened to the last record. It was a good record, but yeah, kind of some songs you could skip or whatever. This has no skippable songs. This album sounds like it's going to last for a long time. And it's still going strong. I mean, yeah, he put out a few singles ahead of time too, but he's still freaking like working this record. He's out there on tour constantly. It's getting actual radio play. Like, actual rock radio, like local rock stations are actually playing this on their stations, which they never do. They usually just play classic shit or, or stuff you never heard of. But they're actually playing Sebastian Bach. So it's not just like on Sirius Satellite or anything like that. He's actually getting radio play all over the world on this record and the singles he keeps putting out. But I mean, it's a great record, man. So my point is that, oh well, he don't need Skid Row anymore. He's blowing them away, and I'm glad. And for the way they've been treating him with those shirts and everything, just the stuff they said, I'm glad. I mean, I don't want to sound mean, but I'm kind of glad that he's showing them what's up, So yeah, so we're gonna check out his video because to me the one of the best songs on here is "Hold On to the Dream," man. It's like he started doing this live. And the vocals on it are so insane, like all the vocal melodies and the different types of vocals. I was wondering, like, how are you going to pull it off live? And I heard a live clip, and it sounded pretty good. But him himself said they need to work on it more. But get out there and get Sebastian Bach's Child Within the Man. It's my number one so far. Will it be number one at the end of the year? Who knows? I mean, it's got a lot of potential for that. So I don't know what other albums are coming out that could beat it. But so far, I mean, like I said, I mean, I had Bruce Dickinson at number one until this record come out, but he knocked Bruce Dickinson down to number two. I even had Judas Priest, I think, at number one, but then Bruce Dickinson knocked Priest down to number two, went into number one, and then Sebastian came out and knocked them both down. So yeah. So we're gonna watch this one together, and we're gonna watch the whole video, and then we're gonna close out the show. All right. So here we are. Sebastian Bach's Hold On to the Dream. Listen to this melody in the beginning, and let this song just punch you in the face. And call 911 if you have to.
In my mind, I hold on to the dream through fading insanity. A cold heart never bleeds, no.
This melody right here is golden.
And tonight, we were meant to be.
Right here.
Give me faith in my belief, and I can only breathe.
Totally did that freaking thing. Look at that ass song.
Stand for something, no, you die for nothing. You sick of living this nightmare. Hey, you son of a gun, lighting your fire to all around you. You're not going down, drinking your shots below the ball. Say it out loud, bang your head against the wall for nothing. Stand your ground, stand for what you believe in. Woo! Together from all this fighting, hey. Come together united. You son of a gun, looking out your window, coming against you. I'm talking your spit, running these bumps all over us. Hey, say it out loud, bang your head against the wall for nothing. Stand your ground, stand for what you believe in.
on to that dream. Fucking A, man. That's a fucking monster of a song, man. And that's not the only one. I mean, there's songs on there that just fucking will kick you in the teeth. I mean, the song called F You, I mean, that's a fucking great one, too. And there's a ballad at the very end. I can't remember the title of the ballad. What is the ballad called? Where's the record at? Where's the record? Let's see what the ballad is. You know, this is supposed to be like the 18 in life. To Live Again. Fucking great ballad. It's very Queen sounding, kind of. But his vocals there kind of almost like in this song kind of sounded R&B and like some of those backing vocals, like those harmonies, almost kind of an R&B kind of feel. But mixed in with metal. Fucking phenomenal song though. I mean, like I said, this guy's got it, man. This guy's fucking. He's gonna take the year as #1 record, I believe, rock metal record, whatever you want to call it. I mean, I would put this up against a lot of the black metal stuff that I feel is really good. I'd put this up against Kerry King's heavy ass album. I mean, Kerry King's album is good too, but you know, I like a lot of melodic and substance and stuff like that. You know, every once in a while, like I mean, Asueda is really good, but he just shouts the whole entire album. It's just I'm surprised that guy has a voice. Not saying that's a bad thing. It's a good thing because he can actually kick ass on it. Oh, like I've got these weird glasses on with my other glasses. Yeah, man. So get out there and get some new music. Subscribe if you haven't already, please. Tell all your friends about the Metal Block. You can go on Facebook, called the Metal Block Facebook group, and join that. I'm always doing cool little fun games, like, you know, pitting albums against albums, like the Metal Record Showdown type of thing. We did like a whole thing with 1984 versus 1983. 1983 won, I believe so. Yeah, I think 1983 won. So yeah, get out there and get new music. Always be discovering the good stuff. Thank you for joining me on this. I'm going to be back in a couple of weeks with the black metal special, black metal, death metal, extreme metal, all that good stuff. And then at the end of the year, we're going to do the top 20. But in the meantime, in between, I'm going to have some more guests on. I have some guests lined up, and I'm going to do some more theme stuff. I definitely in October, I planned it. You know, like I said, I have 5 concerts I'm going to in October. I'm going to maybe try to do a docu-series. You know, document each show and, you know, just put that together and maybe make it I feel like I'm going on tour to see concerts instead of playing concerts that month. like 5 shows, and who knows, there might even be some more shows added by the time I get there. You know, just gotta find a time off work on some of those, but at least some of them are on days I don't have to work. But yeah, but anyway, the Metal Block is here to stay, and so in the meantime, be kind to each other, be kind to yourself. I mean, the world is crazy out there right now, and who knows if we're going to even be around in November after the whole election thing. I keep hearing stories there's going to be a civil war. I got my Trump hat just in case. If they bust in here, I'll be like, oh, Trump. Who are you voting for? Trump, man, Trump, MAGA. And my cat, too. Who are you voting for? Biden? No. Anyway. Be kind to each other. Horns up and peace out. Yeah.